Hello, I'm Connie Kincius Griner, and I am at QuiltCon in Savannah, Georgia, 2017. And I would like to tell you a little bit about my quilt, Wrinkly Irony. This quilt is basically patterned after the weird lists of definitions that pop up on social media that give you an alternate definition for a common word. So in this case, the starting point was irony being the opposite of wrinkly. So I kind of pondered that and thought, what would that look like as a quilt, and got out a notebook and started drawing things on a piece of paper. And so what I imagined was this kind of, opposite universes here. Here's the wrinkly universe, where things are in a bit of disorder. We have where there's an improvisationally piece background, and my permanently wrinkled fabric here on the ironing board. And then on the other side of the universe, we have the irony universe, where everything is kind of neat and buttoned up and, nice and white and sterile and a little bit clinical and antiseptic, and the fabric is always flat. So that was the vision, and I think the vision actually turned out pretty well, but executing it was a bit of a challenge. I built this quilt initially as just a background, so the improvisational piecing and the tile piecing over here were constructed, and then two of them were joined together, and then those two pieces were actually quilted as a background. And then I added the other elements as applique on top of the already quilted surface. So my ironing board and my wrinkly fabric and my irony fabric and the iron and all these other elements were actually added on top of it, which presented a few challenges because I had to double bat my quilt in making it, because I have a turquoise background, which unfortunately was showing through my wool batting. So I have a cotton batting and a wool batting, and that made it all fairly thick and heavy. And then there's lots of seam allowance, and especially in the improvisational piece half. And then I have this ironing board and these other elements on top of that. So there are places in the quilt where there are probably 10 layers of fabric together. But in the end, it all worked out, and I am now proud to say that even though I've never had a quilt in QuiltCon, I can now say I've had a quilt at QuiltCon. So anyway, this is my quilt, Wrinkly Irony. Thank you very much.